got notes for you. Man, there just seems to be so many lessons for us right here. We got a big list, and there's some really obvious things in just trying to win a football game. That the penalties and the special teams gimmies, the 100 yards in returns or something like that, setting up scores and all. It's really hard to win when you play like that. It's hard enough anyway. So there's big lessons, and I have to really zero in on the guys that are having the problems. Like Charles had problems on the line of scrimmage in this game. Had 4 penalties on procedure penalties and stuff that you obviously can clean up in all different situations. But though we have to get that out of your football. You can't play football like that. It's bad, and so. We'll learn a lot here. I'm not going to make any belly aching about turning it around for the Thursday night. We have to do that during the season. This is just what you have to do, and we have to do it better than we did, regardless of what the travel was or whatever. That's no excuse. You have to get it done and come around. Both teams have to play fast. So we'll learn from this. You saw that a lot of guys didn't play again tonight, and we're still working our way through that. We'll figure out what happens for us this week coming up. So one of the things I have to evaluate is where are the errors coming from, and how meaningful is it? Our leverage on a return game is really bad in the special teams for 2 weeks in a row. And I don't remember us ever looking like that. So there's some things some things in some people there'll be some changes, and. We'll make those decisions as we go. We finally have a really cool week. This is a full week for us. We can get prepared and have the good practices and get our work done and really take our time getting through the week and the installation of the game plans and all that. So we'll really appreciate how that works, and then we'll come back after that with some really good time that we need. We need every minute of it. The thing I have to stay up on is where we're going, and I know that. A lot of the guys that are not playing would make some really nice plays for us, and they would be making some tackles and some hits and some catches, and we're counting on those guys. But otherwise, you look at the game. It was not a great game for us at all in any way. I would say this: that overall, the defense did a nice job, and they hung in there pretty tough. We didn't give up a lot of yards, but pretty good on third down. 3 explosives for the night. Nice little stand down there on the 1 foot line, which was great. But all in all. We got to get better in a lot of areas. Go ahead.
How's Dino?
D-Luke came out. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, D-Luke, we were very, very fortunate. He had a lateral ankle sprain out of the deal. And, he got rolled up on and all of that, but all of the x-rays and stuff were negative. We were very, very fortunate there. He was upbeat about that a little bit, maybe surprised by, the results, but we're thrilled by it as well. Did you ask about Gino?
Gino.
Yeah, Gino banged his knee on the ground, and it's got a little, like a bursa thing. It's just like a bruised knee. I just Penny Hart was going to go in the game if we needed somebody after, in the second half. Gino still could have gone back in, but where we're thinking about him coming back and playing in the third quarter just to get some more plays. It just wasn't the right thing to do. Jacob battled out there. He did a nice job and fired up that he got a chance to get a lot of airtime and a lot of situations, and we talked through a lot of stuff as the game was going. It was a really good learning experience for Easton, and so that's really good for him. It was good to see. Made some big plays, big throws. We have to catch the ball better in general. The guys that are trying to make this club have got to catch the football for us and make our plays, it happened a little bit to Gino again. A couple of balls that could have been caught. We need to catch. The first third down was a beautiful read and play and protection and all that. We didn't make the catch. So those things we gotta keep evaluating. There's a lot of information coming at us.
Did Smith hurt it? Did Smith hurt on that scramble out of bounds when he landed on his knees? Do you know?
Yeah.
What did you tell the guys in the locker room?
Well, let me tell you what I told them at halftime. There's games sometimes you don't get started right and you fall behind, and it takes a while to come back. And there's a mentality about coming back and understanding the patience that it takes. You can't score 3 times and get the game back in order so you can feel good about it. You have to patiently work your way back into it and build the momentum of a comeback. And, so we got to feel that last week, and we got to feel that again this week. Those are important things to learn so that you can stay poised and make comebacks and make games come back to you. So that's a time lesson for us there. Afterward, that it's preseason, and we have to make some big evaluations, and everybody needs to be accountable. Everybody needs to get their act right. We can't give up 13 different things, and there might have been 15 or 16 different things that we did in the game that give stuff to the other team, and when you do that, you can't win. So, Greg, I would try to make the impression on them that everybody's responsible for taking care of their own business here, and we have to all own that and then fix that, and that, don't let it be you. Last week we had 3 penalties. We had a great start, and everything looked fine, but this week, we went in the garbage can on it, and it wasn't good enough.
You mentioned the tackling straight out last week, too, and then it seemed to be another issue tonight. What do you kind of take away from what you saw?
We got to check the tacklers. I'm going to check on the tacklers, the guys that are missing them. I think that's the most important thing to me right now. I want to see who's missing tackles and fix that problem. I don't think it's like a epidemic kind of thing. It looked like that last week a little bit, but we got to clean some stuff up with some guys that and if they don't get it right, then they won't be able to be here. We'll get guys that can.
How do you fix that at an NFL level when you're worried about the injuries? How do
You have to drill it. You have to drill it and emphasize it. And we did a bunch of stuff this week to point out the situational tackle and understand the situation. See, sometimes a guy gets one tackle is way different than another one, and what it calls for is way different. And they have to recognize the situation. And sometimes you just got to get them down. And sometimes you got to lined up, take a big shot, and you can go attack the football and all of that. You have to assess those. And some guys are, ahead of other guys in doing that. So that's important at this level, is that they recognize what the opportunity is and then what it calls for in that chance that they take the shot. And so sometimes if you're a little bit out of whack, you're over jacked up or whatever, you can miss the opportunity of assessing. And so we can get that done. That makes a big difference for us.
You bring the gymnastics mat out and bring guys to ground on that before you're thinking?
We've done all kinds of stuff. Yeah, we're going to do everything again. This wasn't the week to really,
How do you evaluate Gino's night?
He did okay. We needed to come through. We need to help him a little bit. We need to make the plays around him too. And we missed a block on the screen, and we missed a third down conversion, and there's another one in there. He's running the show well. He's doing okay. Got out of the pocket, when he needed to, and threw a couple really good balls that could have been converted. We got to come through for him. Our receivers got to make the plays for him, and we need to see DK and Locke and the fellas out there. We're going to count on DK and Locke, and Marquise has got a chance to help us, and Eskridge's got a chance. Eskridge has a chance to come back this week. We need those guys to come through if he's going to be good. Tight ends did a nice job. Really big play by Kobe tonight. So there's some bright spots. We got to assess the stuff for the guys that are going to be playing when it comes time, in the opener.
Because of this, go ahead, Bob.
With Charles, can you adequately assess kind of what his issues were with?
Yeah, we already talked through it, and each one of them is a different situation. There were different plays. Anyway. So there was every one of them had its own little storyline to it, and they're not like all the same. But him being comfortable, assessing the cadence adjustment and the things that we have to do, it's just experience, and so. This is not going to be something that bothers him forever. We just got to get it cleaned up and settle him in and make sure each situation he makes the right assessment and does a nice job. This is kind of like the tackling thing.
Because of how it looked tonight, Pete, are you any more curious as what Drew Lock might look like and what the offense might look like with him running it?
It's disappointing that he didn't get a chance to play tonight. Now, we had a different plan for this night, and we weren't able to execute. We couldn't do anything about it. That's why I'm still curious to see how he plays with us. Yeah, I am, and he's done enough good things. He's got some real stuff to him, and some real exciting ability and playmaking stuff that you all see when he does get his chance eventually. And so. Just disappointed we didn't get to know some more about it tonight.
Does that change your thinking on how you normally would do a final preseason game with starters?
I postponed the thought of that, and I'm going to wait. We had a long week here. We'll figure it out. I don't know what, exactly how to do that yet because I don't have to. So I'll let you know.
How's Drew doing?
I might let you know. I'm not very good at letting you guys know that stuff.
How's Drew doing?
He's really sick. Yeah, he was sick. Yeah. Well, that was I think it was this morning or something. I talked to him. It hit him pretty hard.
So he hasn't tested negative yet?
No, don't think he's even tested. There's no reason for him to test at this point.
With Damon, does he have a chance to get that for the opener, or do you know? Or
I don't know that.
It seemed like Kobe Bryant actually made some plays for you there in the second half, a couple
Really good,
deflections,
yeah.
good tackle.
He's really aggressive. You can see a difference. He played at a little bit of a different level than some of the other guys, running and hitting. He makes tackles. He's a football player. I think that's we're getting that information on this guy. He's a ball player.
Tell you something about a guy, the goal line stand with Iggy when it's, game's kind of out of hand. It's a preseason game and he's making
The whole crew to hang in there that tough. I mean, look what we did. These guys have their attitude is to come back and to make the plays, and they're believing. That's why they make stuff like that happen. That's why we had a shot to get an onside kick, and here we go. We're a flash from JJ's catch down there, and I think it was Aaron down there. Beautiful attempts, and so it's close. That's because they're giving themselves a chance the way they think, and that's really encouraging.
Those returns on the kick and punt return that went past midfield, what do you think were the biggest issues there? Is that mostly about the pursuit or the
guys recognizing that where they are in the coverage format and where they have to stay to leverage where the ball carrier is in concert with the other guys? We didn't look like we have a clue about how to do that the last 2 weeks, and we've been working at it, but it doesn't show up. So, we got a bunch of guys out there all trying to go make the tackle, as opposed to working together. And it's a young bunch of guys. I'm just not used to seeing that happen in our games. It's unfamiliar. So. Sometimes it's the guys they got to do it right, we're spending time on it. We'll spend more time on it. We're not going to scapegoat on some kid can't make a play or whatever. We got to get them coached up right. That's fundamental stuff. We're not good enough at it yet.
Is that something that is really difficult with the way that the practices now are catered with the physicality and stuff to be able to, or is that
No,
more
I don't think that. Sometimes it's we don't have the right guys in the right spots. We're trying out guys. We're trying to see what they can do, and we're throwing them into the fire, and we're getting a lot of information. Sometimes it doesn't help them, but it helps us understand where we are.
What did you think about the running game today?
We never really got going. I didn't think it didn't. We ran for 90 yards or something like that, but it didn't feel like we ever got really going. We didn't have enough plays. We've heard this before. We were 1 for 11 at one time on third downs, or something like that, and that's not the kind of rhythm that's going to give you a chance, So.
You learned anything about Jacob Eason there in the fourth quarter?
I thought he did a good job. Yeah, I thought he did a really good job. He was really resourceful and clear, real competitive, made some big-time throws. That was a great opportunity for him, to play in the game. So I thought we saw a lot of good stuff.
Anything else? Yeah, sorry, Dave. With all you're trying to do new, Pete, defense and offense, how worried are you? Are you worried?
Am I worried? No. What I am, I want to maintain my patience, knowing who's playing and the guys that are going to play on game day when we open up. And I'm more concerned about, are they ready, based on the amount of work that they've been able to get. This week just did not help us in that regard. So we can't do anything about it. But these next 2 weeks are enormous for the guys who haven't been playing in the games, and to make sure that they're ready. They feel like they are. They can't wait to get out there. They have a sense that the pups are out there playing for them. We've got some really good players that aren't out there right now, and so we know that. So that's why preseason's good. We're learning a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.